Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome back to another episode of The Reality Show Girls.
Welcome back, everybody. Coming at you from two separate places. Ugh, the girls.
In two separate worlds.
Together.
We're not together, and it's so annoying. We've had some technical difficulties, okay? We'll just say it.
Oh my God, yeah. We were supposed to record another day, and y'all, I felt like a boomer or something. I could not figure it out. Still can't. So here I am.
It is
with a $30 Target mic.
Yeah, work. And here I am, 11 p.m. on a Saturday night, home, 2 sangrias in, about to film the best podcast episode we've ever filmed.
Absolutely.
Oh, so and Whitney is in kind of Boston.
I'm in
suburbs.
I'm in Massachusetts.
She's in Massachusetts.
I guess so.
And it's
feel
actually
like
funny.
I'm in Halloween town.
Yeah, and that's the vibes that like that area gives. Always.
I mean, because I'm near Salem.
Exactly, and that's like why I'm going to Boston. I'm actually Whitney and I actually might see each other because I'm actually going to Boston to visit my brother on Thursday. I can't believe I'm leaving Thursday. Oh my God. So we actually might have a moment together, which would be great. Because, I
hope so.
It's already been a week.
I need a heavier jacket. It's cold.
Oh, yeah. Guys, that's what's
happening.
Whitney is rehearsing.
I'm afar. I'm rehearsing for a show. But before I get into it, let me just go ahead and say the usual.
Yeah, let's
gotta say it. Housekeeping. So if you're listening to our podcast, that means you like us, right? So share it with your friends. Follow us on Instagram, TikTok. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Thumbs up our videos. Leave a comment below. Tell us what you're thinking. Tell us what you want from us. And we are happy to take, some feedback, maybe in a nice fashion. But we appreciate all the support that we can get.
I actually can't take any criticism. Only positive reinforcement, actually.
Yes. Just do the sandwich technique if you could. And that would be great.
Because if I hear any critical criticism, even if it's nice, even if it's going to be helpful, I can't accept it right now. I'm not in that mental space right now. You know why?
Why is that?
Okay, I'll tell you, even though you already know. I've just had like a week of evaluations.
Oh, right. That.
I got evaluated in all 3 of my jobs. All 3 of my fitness coaching instructor life. All three bosses have evaluated me this week. I know it needs to happen, but like
it's like you've gotten into a groove of doing something a certain way, and then they're going to be like, actually change that. And you're like,
and it's like, I mean, I am passionate about my fitness career here in New York because it is what gets me money, but also at the same time, it's not my number one thing. So for me, it's like, I'm okay if I'm not the best at it because it's merely like, I'm passionate about the job, but it's not as like, it's not like performing.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I'm okay to be average. I'll say it.
Somebody's got to be.
Someone's got to be average, and I will be average. I'm happy to do it. But anyways, how's your week been? This is your first week of rehearsals. Full week, right? Or almost a week. It's Saturday.
Yeah. So. It's like 6 days, maybe 5 days. Yeah. I don't know. 5 days, and we've already finished Act 1. We got to do Act 2 next week. We're doing a performance of one of the songs at a Titanic exhibit, which is coming here, which is really funny.
Okay.
So that should be interesting. And then we open a show. Is it next week? No, it's in like a week and a half, I think.
Okay. You still have some time.
I don't know.
So you have like 2 weeks and ish of rehearsal, and then you guys open.
Mm-hmm. The hardest thing is that I'm really bad at memorizing words, but luckily I'm living in a house with 10 other people. It's like a haunted house. It's great. I mean, it's not really haunted, but it's just giving that vibe.
It's definitely haunted.
Yeah, but we'll just like sit at the kitchen table or like in the living room and just go over the lyrics, and I'll come up with little dance moves to remember stuff, and it's great. So
cast bonding.
Yeah, I love little cast bonding. Everyone's so talented though. Like everyone's voices are so good.
It's crazy.
It's crazy. And this is like a male heavy show. And, you know, it's hard to find good male singers, but this one's stacked. Stacked.
Nice.
I'll say it. I'll say it. But yeah, that's that. I guess I'll just go ahead and I want to say before I left, my friend Serenity, if you're listening, she came to visit in New
Shout
York
out.
and we went to go see some Broadway and we saw Sunset Boulevard. And I just have to say, guys, I think it's the best show I've seen so far since being here.
That's like, iconic. I love that you said that.
It is so good. I need everyone to go see it. Like I'll say I never saw the original. I really didn't know much about the original before seeing it. So like, I guess if you're like a stan of like Patti LuPone's version or Glenn Close, then you might have this idea of the show. And this one might be like, I'm not a fan because it's nothing like that. But I feel like the way that they do it works just so well because it's about the film industry and they basically make it seem like it's a film. I'll just say it like that so I don't reveal too much. But I'll just say Nicole, I don't know how to say her last name, Scherzinger, something like that.
Scherzinger, I think.
She was amazing. And we were talking about this today with my cast. We were talking about just like sound engineering and how like if you set the levels correctly for sound and like do the correct reverb and whatever else, it can really just change an entire performance entirely. And that's exactly what they did with her big numbers with One Look and the other one. I can't, As If We Never Said Goodbye, because even if she didn't have like the effects or whatever, because there's not effects, but just like they support how amazing her voice is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And because it was a giant theater, I didn't realize it was so big. And I was in the very last row of the balcony and I was still shook by it all. She had standing ovations for 3 minutes. Like, I mean, I don't even know how long, but it was incredible. It was phenomenal. And then I got to meet her after the show, which I didn't think was going to happen, but I just happened to be there with another homegirl, Ashley. Shout out to you. We saw her on the street because she also went to see it too. And then they were putting up blockades for her to come out and get into her car. And I was like, oh my God. So got to see her and her nice little, her juicy lips. She got them lips plumped, baby. Okay. And I was like, you look great.
Get my lips plumped. Oh my God. I can't wait to see it. I've heard just like really great things about it.
Yeah. I can't wait for you to see it. It's
Outsiders Who?
Oh God, I still haven't seen that one.
I know. I need to. It's hard when we live here because it's just like, oh, we can see it next week or we can see it the week after. But then it's like, it's going to close at some point. I mean, they don't have a closing date, but like these shows, they come and go. They come and go.
The originals will leave, like the original cast will leave and you're like, oh, I want to see it with them.
Yeah.
So yeah. And then Gypsy's about to open. I can't wait to see that.
We are seeing Gypsy, period. We're like,
absolutely.
I feel like we're like a lot of people are part of the Joy Woods fan club, but like I think we specifically are. Because I feel like that's your sister. So I feel like that's also, she's in the family.
Joy and Jordan are my sister. Audra is my mother.
Yeah, like literally mother, your whole family's
my mother.
Yeah, your whole family is in the show. So I'm literally like, I'm connected by pod. So
by association.
I'm there. By association, that's my family too. So our family's in the show. I just feel like we have to go see it like immediately. I feel like it's weird we haven't been invited to the previews. Really,
I know.
Bizarre.
Also, a girl from my work is in the show. So she's not working where I work now.
What it is, we're going to be there. We're probably going to be at the preview. Somehow we're going to make it to the preview. I don't know how.
We'll make it there.
We're starting to have a name for ourselves, okay? We got invited to a
comedy
show. Whitney couldn't go. I went on her behalf. The comedy show was not that good. But people are starting to notice our TikToks and reels. We're quite popular.
Slowly but surely.
We're slowly but surely getting there.
Yeah.
But
anyway.
Yeah, that's great.
That's me.
That's amazing.
What about you?
Can't wait. Well, I mean, it's been kind of it's like from the wedding weekend, it's been like one of those weeks where it's like, oh, I have to get back to work, but it's now been a week since the wedding. Like I still haven't recovered from the weekend, last weekend, and I'm still in the next weekend, if that makes sense. It's a crazy thing. I'm still working, but I'm not really recovered. Today I did Momen, It's created by Al Blackstone, and I did not know this was his like husband fiance, maybe boyfriend, Abraham. They create just like a really safe space for artists, dancers. It's like very granola. Like the girls that came, it's like baggy pants, sweatpants. Some people had a hoodie on. I was literally like, there's granola everywhere.
What does granola mean? Someone said that today, and I think this is like a Gen X thing.
Okay. So, sure, I can enlighten you on a granola because
Gen Z.
It's literally
I'm
what
Gen
you
X.
think it is. You're a millennial. I don't know what.
Fuck, I don't know who I am. You're right. I'm a millennial.
Well, actually,
Gen
I think
X
you're
is
a
before
cusp.
me.
You're a cusp. I thought I was a cusp, but apparently I'm not. I thought
you're Gen Z.
I'm Gen Z. I'm like straight Gen Z. I'm like the first of the Gen Zs, like 1998, because I thought it was like 2000s. I didn't realize it was not with the decade. Anyways, granola is essentially what it sounds like. Someone who's like, it's that. It's what I described. Like just very, like they had like the sweatpants. They're just like kind of showing up, like kind of a little disheveled. The hair is kind of like in a messy bun. It's like baggy clothes.
What's the
granola?
Word? Like it's giving
granola.
Like there's another word that we used to call that.
I know.
I know it right now. It's like the people in the coffee shops, like that had a Tumblr page. Oh my god!
It's that. It is that.
It's this that. Is really going to bother me that I can't remember the word.
You're gonna say it, and I'm gonna be like, "That's what I thought." But anyways,
continue. I'll look it up.
Okay, that's what I was with today, but it ended up being really great. You know who was there though? It was actually low key like dancer famous people, but like not to the normal people. I walked in with Gabby Diaz first and foremost, who I'm obsessed with. She was also just in Illinois. I don't think she's been in anything else. I think that was her. I actually think that was her Broadway debut, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
She was on So You Think You Can Dance. She was in the West Side Story movie. She's a phenomenal dancer. Like I literally watched all her stuff growing up. And same with Melanie Moore. Melanie Moore was there. She was in I think she won So You Think You Can Dance. She won So You Think You Can Dance. She was in Peter Pan. She's been in a lot of things. They're dance icons. I was just honored to be dancing with them today. I was just honored to be really just dancing in general. I think it was called like the 3x3. So it was 3 classes in a row. Al Blackstone, Sheila Barker, and then it ended with Billy Griffin. Just a really great day of dance. There was some journaling. You know, I'm not really one to be in that space. I don't usually put myself in a situation where I'd be there. I didn't feel like I fit in yet. I fit in. You know what I mean? Like it was like a good space, essentially. Good day of dance. So anyways, that's what I did today. So that was like 10 to 7, full day of dancing. And
that's crazy.
Then I went out afterwards, got some tacos and some sangria with my friends, Brianna and Ben. And then Jasmine was there, met her. And then another friend came, and then they left to see Tammy Faye, and I said goodbye, and then we talked a little bit more, and then now I'm here.
Also, the word I'm looking for is hipster. Granola is hipster.
Yeah, hipster.
Yeah.
Wow, I haven't heard the word hipster.
Yeah.
Granola equals hipster. You know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It all comes back full circle. So today I was a hipster dancing with the kids. I did contemporary. I did Sheila Barker yelling at my face, telling me to get into the floor, but not slam the floor, but just be in the floor, but then also just do everything right. But also you're doing everything wrong. Her classes are great. She's just so great. And then Billy Griffin. Like, I mean, it's the whole day was like bada bing, bada boom. We got it all in. And now we have like a lot to talk about because we have updates on Love is Blind episodes, whatever. I think it was 3 episodes that were released.
It's like 7 through 9.
Yeah. And then,
or 10?
We have the finale next week, or actually, next
October
week.
23rd. Yep.
23rd. And then the week after is the reunion. So they're kind of like spacing it out for us. Thank God, because we need some time to kind of like debrief these things. Dancing with the Stars, we had dedication week. And then another great episode of the Golden Bachelorette. Not as good as last week, but
great.
Yet
I don't know about great.
It was an okay.
It's reaching the point of the series where things get boring.
Yeah, so we're going into, this is the week before Hometowns. So we're getting there, everyone. We're getting there. Let's get into it. Love is Blind.
All right, let's start with Love is Blind. And let's start with
pick up where we left off.
Let's talk about Steven. Steven and Monica. Oh my God, this guy. Honestly, the red flags were showing from the minute he said that he's part African and that he went and found a book to read about it.
I was going to say when he said, there's been multiple red flags. I was going to say when he said he cheated in the past.
Oh,
or that. Oh,
there's a lot.
There's a lot. I know. I should have said that. He did vote for Trump. I don't know.
No, but yeah, when he said he cheated on a girl emotionally because he was texting another girl, he basically did that again with this. And his excuse
I have
with
to
the
say,
past. Wait, sorry, you go ahead.
Just quickly, and then we'll really dive into it. But I just have to hate on some of the producing of Love is Blind, because where is the context of this fight? When did it start? What is a sleep test? Why is he drinking at the sleep test? I'm so confused because he mentioned at one point he was drunk. What is happening?
Okay, let's get the gist of it. Well, first of all, with Love is Blind producers, this is what happens with every argument. You never actually see the argument. You always see the aftermath. And maybe that's something, because I remember in the past, wasn't there at one point cameras in their room? I remember at one point I saw a couple getting back into bed, and it was with the nighttime view of the camera. It was maybe in season 1 or 2, but they haven't done that again since. But they need to go back to that. I'm sorry, it's maybe they didn't want to get that personal with people anymore, but they need to. Okay, bring it back to Love Island. Yeah, they're fighting at night when they're in bed.
They're fighting at night when they're in bed,
when you shouldn't be arguing. It's normal, but they always say don't argue when you're about to go to sleep or something. That's the first thing. And then what was it? I had something to say. What is a sleep test? Okay, so basically the gist of what happened with the two of them is that, first of all, Monica wanted flowers. He wasn't buying flowers, so he took this girl on a date to go press some flowers in some sort of glass thing to make decorations. And he was like, "Well, if I give her flowers, I'll get some sex, right?" I rewatched it today because I needed a refresher. Homeboy literally said, "I'm just giving her flowers so I can have sex." And that tells you exactly what's about to happen, because then we find out that he was part of the military, and through his insurance, I guess he might have sleeping problems. He might have sleep apnea, or I don't know what. So he was doing these sleep tests to figure out what was the issue. I think that's what the sleep test is.
Why was he doing the sleep test while he's filming? Why couldn't you schedule this after film? This makes no sense.
His excuse, according to Monica when she went on the Vile Files, is that because it was through insurance, you have a certain time that you can only do certain appointments because, your insurance might be expiring or something like that. So he could not reschedule this. So he had to do it. Allegedly, supposedly.
Sure. I'm assuming that's literally the truth, because why would you be doing this while you're filming?
Yeah.
But then why was he drunk?
Yeah, because it doesn't make sense to go to a sleep test with alcohol, because that kind of ruins the purpose of figuring out what's wrong with your body naturally. Yeah. So I don't know what the whole sleeping thing was about, but basically Monica was saying that the reason that she even looked at his phone, because she found out that he was texting a girl kinky messages that were super dirty and just should not be happening when you're about to be married to someone.
Weird. What is so
It's probably not weird. It's just the fact that he probably hid it from her, and he's probably into some BDSM, some
He said something about pegging. I was like, stuff. I don't even know what's happening. Dude, that's totally fine. Just let your partner know what you like.
Exactly.
It's no big deal. Everyone has their stuff. Life. Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone has their things. That's we're not kink shaming. But now we're shaming because you're a bitch.
And that's that.
And bitches be bitches. And bitches be snitches. And honestly, bitches be witches in October. But yeah,
oh my God.
What the fuck?
Yeah. So like she was saying that basically Garrett and Taylor were making cookies for everyone because they all live in the same apartment complex or something. So they were sending texts to people, and then Steven got a text on his phone, and she was like, "Oh, I think this is from Garrett. Do you mind if I look?" And he was like, "Yeah, go ahead." So he's like in the bathroom or something. So she goes, opens the phone to see what they said, and then you know what happens when you open a guy's phone. You're just like,
yeah, you're gonna fucking search, of course. Every time I do, I find something. Every single time I look at a guy's phone, they're cheating on me. Every single time that has happened to me. Every time.
Trust no man. Trust no man. Trust
literally no man. Like the smallest
Can you tell we're jaded?
In me. Can you tell I'm jaded? But like and the thing is, it's just like I unfortunately am not alone in this. Like most girls have been cheated on.
I said
like
we,
if you're single,
we.
Yeah. We, and not just we, everyone who's listening. I know every woman that's listening to this knows this feeling of seeing it, just being like, here we go again. He's cheating on me. Here we go again. Here we go again. Taylor's Old's Time. Mrs. Potts. Sing it out.
Always Mrs. Potts. Yep.
And
so, yes.
Yeah. I find it sus that she was like, oh, look, the text. She probably just went through his phone. But anyways, she found it regardless of how she found it. She found it.
And what I thought was hilarious was that because obviously Taylor was nearby. So Taylor comes over and Monica's explaining to Taylor what happened and saying how horrible he is. And Taylor's like, I knew from the minute he started talking about, because back in Cabo, he was like, I'm going to get so many messages from girls wanting to suck my dick. Remember he said that to Taylor in that weird conversation? That was a weird comment. And Taylor was like, yeah, I knew that. I thought that was a weird comment when he said that. And here we are. And as they're talking about this, Steven just comes out of the room from like the bedroom and goes into the kitchen and like grabs something and like goes back away as they're just talking all this shit about him. I'm like, sir, what are you doing? It's like he knew that he got caught though. You know what I mean? He was just like, well, I'll see myself out. He was that SpongeBob meme.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He was literally that SpongeBob. It's like, it was weird because it's like, what do you say when you're so wrong? And I think he even looked at the camera, dare I say. I think he like literally broke the fourth wall and actually looked at the camera.
The Office.
He said something like, I
take accountability. I know.
Or I think he said something like, this is going to sit with me forever. Like I'm exposed. He like literally looked at the camera and said that, something like that along the lines. And then he just left.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
I mean, I guess what can you say? But also at the same time, like, I wanted him to suffer a little more. I wanted to see him cry. I wanted to see him grovel. But
he had no remorse.
He's a coward.
That's the thing. That's what's crazy about him.
Gross.
He really didn't care.
Men like that.
It's gross.
Men like that. Blah, blah, blah. Any man that cheats, you got it fucking coming for you, bitch. You got it coming for you in another way. It's coming for you. When you treat people like that, it's going to come back at you. Always treat people with respect, especially those you care about. It's never good to treat someone like that. And he's got it coming. He's got it coming.
You know what? She said, before you leave, you better Venmo me. You better Venmo me for all of the stuff that I paid for. I said, I died when she said, Venmo me right now before you step out that door. And that's what everyone should be doing.
No, and I totally forgot about that. And I was like, I'm laughing that I thought she was just doing that just to be like, just Venmo me. And I was like, maybe I should be doing that to people. I should be just Venmo requesting all my exes. This is for you when you cheated on me. This is about $1,000 of pain that you pay for my next lip filler. Pay for my next Botox. Like, no. Pay for it. Pay for it.
But no, she had an actual reason to ask for the Venmo.
Be so rich. I would be so rich from all the guys that have cheated on me. I would be a millionaire.
I would have just for the emotional damage, you know?
I would say 3,000 minimum for each of these men that have cheated. Minimum. Yeah. 3,000.
God.
Easy money.
So yeah, anyways, that was awful. And she was obviously really upset and crying. What I thought was so sweet was Garrett coming in and also consoling along with Taylor. I was like, we all need a Garrett. And you don't like Garrett?
I don't like Garrett. I don't like any of the men.
I was just going to say you don't like anyone, but out of all the men, Garrett is my favorite. I think we can just go into them real quick because there's not
We're
too
talking
much
about
to
it.
say. We're talking about it.
This is kind of what ended the
doing
episode.
Pretty well. Yeah, but I'll just say beforehand, like she met his family. Well, we already saw that. And then she met her friends and they liked him, but then she wants to move to San Diego. I think that's the big like thing about them. And he was like, San Diego's really far from my family, but he's like, but I'm willing to do it for you. Like, let me have a chance to feel it out. And if I like it, then yeah, let's do it. Which I think is really great of him to like be able to be like, yeah, I'll pick up my whole life and just go there. And then he meets her mom. I don't really know what came of that. I don't think her dad didn't want to be on camera.
Yeah.
But then they all go to like they had like a 1920s party,
Flapper,
theme party with the whole cast. And before they go into the party, Garrett tells Taylor that he got a text from his ex. And the way that he handled this was not good. Because like, basically he tells her in that moment that, oh, I just hearted the text. Like that was it. And she was like, okay, maybe you should like message her and just be like, hey, I don't want to keep communicating because I'm engaged. But he said he didn't do that.
That's when I would say 2 words, show me.
That's the thing. Yeah. I'd be like, show me your phone. Show me the text. Show me the text.
Just show me so we can just see, so I can see it and then we can move on. Show me.
Exactly. Yeah.
Show me everything.
But yeah, so they leave it at that for the moment. But then they go into the party. They're having a good time. Then they're talking to Ashley and Tyler. And he brings up the whole text message thing, or someone brings it up. And he's like, yeah, I messaged her back. And I was just like, oh, I hope you're doing well. But like, I'm engaged now and I don't think we should continue communicating. And she was like, wait, that's not what you told me like literally an hour ago. And he was like, you didn't ask me what I said. Like, I hate when people do that in general, honestly, when they're just like, oh, you didn't ask me this specific way about something, so I'm just going to omit it. You know what I mean? Omission is still a form of lying. Let's be real.
That.
Let's be real. So obviously she was very upset.
These episodes are triggering for me, by the way. If it's not obvious enough, I'm literally like, but it's so relatable to watch stuff like this. It really is.
It is.
And you see her basically kind of break down, and then it, like, why to expose that in front of the other couple was wild.
Yeah,
too.
I don't know why he thought to say it. Maybe he thought it would lessen the blow. Like she wouldn't react as bad if she was in front of other people, which is a form of like something also, people do.
Yeah, you know? And also I don't know if he was just like painfully unaware. I like want to pretend he was because I do like him until this moment. I did like him until this moment, but Ashley did. I think Ashley said this. Someone said this, that I felt like he was just like broing out with Tyler.
He was acting like he was just talking with the bros and forgetting that the girls were around.
And that was like such a. I think Ashley did say that, and I was just like, that. What a statement that was. Like that. Yeah,
it's very true. That's definitely what he did. But clearly, that caused the whole thing with them. And literally they were supposed to go visit her family the following day, like fly to San Diego. So they obviously were up
but they end up doing that,
talking about this, figuring it out. They do end up meeting and everything seems okay, like when it's left off. But like, I don't know. I mean, I'm hoping that they're together because I really do like them. And I talked about this with Eleni off the pod, but he has had a serious glow up. And glow ups either mean the woman has done the right thing and put in the proper sugar, spice, and everything nice to make everything look amazing, or it's a breakup glow up. And I don't know which way it is. It could go either way.
I just don't know if she was so upset, and like I would be too. And I just don't know if I could get past just that little lie. Like, I just feel like once you lie, it's just like so hard to build that trust back.
It's hard,
but we'll see. We'll see.
That's like such a, honestly, I would probably.
We'll see.
I would get over that more than I would get over someone lying to me about them having kids. I'm just saying.
That's true.
I keep segueing into the next thing.
That's a great segue. Let's get into it.
Let's talk about Ashley and Tyler. As we talked about this last week, the news came out as the show was airing that Tyler was a sperm donor to a friend of his who is a lesbian, and they wanted kids.
Lesbians.
But I'm like, what's the relationship with that? Like, was she always a lesbian? Like, were they together? And you know what I mean? There's probably more to that story. But anyway, so like, he obviously helped with the birth of these 3 children. He was in a part of their lives. He would spend holidays with him, yada, yada, which is crazy because he said that he was alone for Christmas. Homegirl pulled out the receipts and posted on the internet. No, he was with us.
Yep.
And that's crazy. So he ends up telling Ashley, and Ashley's like, this is a big thing. I don't understand. Like, they talked about kids so much. It's insane. For him to not have brought it up, that's something else.
Weird.
For you to be that diabolical to not bring it up. Do you know what I mean?
Such a big deal.
That is such a big deal, especially, and the thing is, he is still downplaying it. He's acting like, oh, I just let this girl have my sperm and that's it. I'm not a part of their lives. But he didn't tell her that he's actually a part of their lives. And so she's like, oh, I just want to see the documents. I want to know, yada, yada. But as far as she knows, she still thinks that they're not involved with him in any way, which is just not true.
I just don't know why he lied about it, because I think if he was upfront about everything, I think she would have been fine with everything.
Absolutely. That's nothing to be ashamed of.
I just don't understand the lying.
And that's the only thing is, I feel like, I don't know what happened, but I feel like that, you know how it is, where sometimes you're with the person and then they turn out to be, they come out and they're like, you know what, I'm actually a lesbian now. But like, it could have easily been a thing where like they were dating at one point, they broke up, they're still good friends. And she was like, hey, I trust you. Would you help us out? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I don't know if that's the case, but this is like, just something. And that could be like where he's like, oh, I don't want to make my new girlfriend scared because I basically had kids with my ex. You know what I mean?
Sure. Yeah, I can see that. But I mean,
that's just a theory.
It's hard to tell. It's a good theory. It's hard to tell because it's like, are we ever going to get the truth from this man?
Yeah,
I don't know.
There's been exes that have come out and just said that he's has no money. He owes money to all his exes, basically. So he seems like a user, not a user, like a smoocher, like a smoocher. I give up.
Who the fuck did I marry? It's giving who the fuck did I marry? It's giving what's his name? Legion.
Oh God, yeah, that is.
It's giving Legion. It's giving Legion, and like not as intense, but it's giving that. It's funny because it's like they have the conversation and then she literally point blank asked him like, have you seen the kids? And he like was like, or no, she asked, do the kids know what you look like? That was the question.
Yes.
And he was just, you can see him.
He said no.
He doesn't look in her eyes though. He like looks away and he's like, oh, I don't even know. They probably don't. Like, why would they?
He literally said that because they're like 2 right now. He's like, oh yeah, they don't know what I look like because they can't remember my face. Crazy. But she accepts it. She's basically like, okay. And she's still ready to marry that man, and he's still fully lying to her.
She's really upset, but I think he like came clean to her, but we know the truth because it's coming out in real time, and now not the wife.
Can't wait to see the reunion.
The mother of these children is now coming forth. So it's like I'm interested to see how it plays out in their moment this time last year whenever they filmed it, and then what's happening now with her. So like the reunion is going to be like you said, very telling of what
what's happening with everybody.
There could be like they resolved it and they actually end up getting married, and now this is all coming out.
Now this is happening.
New to her, but I can't. I don't know. I can't imagine that this is going to be news to her. I'm hoping that she figured this out and they didn't get married.
I feel like it would be, because why would baby mama come on screen and do all this? Not on screen, but come to the internet.
She might have not known. I don't know. I don't know. It's all speculation. We'll see.
So
we'll see how it pans out. It's wild.
Oh my God. I've got to talk about Hannah. I've got to talk about Hannah and Nick.
I hate her. Sorry. I'm sorry. She's so mean. She's going to look back at this and just be like,
oh no, she has. Oh, hold on. Before I begin, I just want to preface by saying both of them have their faults. Don't get me wrong. But Hannah, what she is doing, she's saying that she's being direct. I saw she went on Nick's podcast and she's just like, I'm just a direct person. Like, what can I say? I can't do it. Why am I not able to do a country accent? I'm just a direct person. There it is.
There it is.
And she's just blaming it on that. But it's not being direct. There's a way you can be direct without having to be like emotionally abusive. And that is exactly what she's doing.
I find myself to be a very direct person, and I don't think I emotionally abuse people. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm a very, I say when I'm upset, this makes me upset. This person did this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not out here like,
but her directness is putting people down and making herself seem better than them. Like,
yes,
that's like, she can't say something about herself, or like either she can't say something about something she does great without putting him down, or something that he can't do without lifting herself up. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, it's so frustrating.
It's never, yeah. So I don't even know where to begin with them. So like, I guess he shows her his house, which is not his house. He lives with his parents. He lives in the basement, which like, I do understand.
Too. I'd be pissed.
It's not great to want to marry someone in that stage, but like, I would relate to him being a football player to like us being actors. Like, if you're an actor and you're on the road all the time, why would you want to pay rent if you're able to still be at home? Do you know what I mean?
I mean, but he's in real estate. So
but that's the thing. He's had time now. It's been 2 years. You've had time to get your life together. So,
but he did tell her in the pods that he lived with his parents.
Yeah. So this was not a surprise. She knew this.
It's no surprise. If I heard that in the pods, I'd be like, red flag.
That should have been your time to get out, because you can't be disgusted with it now as you're looking at it. Like, Leo, I thought this was a man's den.
You're looking really good, Leo. You're looking really good in my head.
And she's so upset that he doesn't know how to like mount a TV. She was like, I wish you were handier. Like, okay, calm down.
Okay. Not every man is handy, but I think, but in her defense, he didn't know how to boil pasta, something like stupid.
There's a lot of basic things he doesn't know how to do because his parents have babied him. It's this weird thing where it's amazing that his parents are so able to help him out so much in that way. But there's a time where you do have to kick them and your son into gear and be like, hey,
it's
X, Y, and Z. Here's how to live.
I think. Here's how to live. And I think you learn a lot when you live alone. Like, even when you're like, I thought my parents, now looking back at it, they helped me a ton. And I feel I was spoiled in a way. Like,
mine are still helping me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like,
I'm still a baby.
Yeah. Like, and I feel like anytime I go to my dad will help me and stuff. But like, for the most part, I learned when I was away from them. Because if I stayed with them, I don't think I would know how to do anything, really, because they did everything for me. And I think in that, so I can relate to him in that fact. But it's your job to leave. Like, at that point, like, because parents like that are gonna always accept you and want you to be there. Like, it's like,
of course,
dude,
parents
just
never want you to leave. Well, actually, sometimes they do. They're like, please get out of here.
Sometimes they do, but you know,
it depends. But Hannah's like, oh, you don't know anything about the stock market. You don't know. You don't invest.
401k.
I'm sorry, but I don't know anything. I mean, I do. I did like some basic stuff in school, but like, that's not something everyone has to be involved with.
She was just shaming him, like, but just also him not knowing, him not investing. Okay, that's one thing, but him not knowing about the stock market was a little alarming. I'm just like, do you not know what you can be investing in? Like, are you?
And here's the thing. I think it's great that Hannah knows how to do all this stuff, that Hannah is so able to be a strong, independent woman type thing. But the thing is, like, you have to let go. She's like holding on to this high standard. And sometimes you just, like, with any relationship, you have to, there's a give and a take. You know what I mean? And she's not giving anything. She's just taking.
It's just like, why are you not doing this? Why are you not doing this? Why are you not doing that? And then he's just like, what? And then
he's just getting
she feels like she just feels like I'm just educating him so much, like I'm building my it's called the build the boyfriend effect, but in this case, build my husband. Like, girls do this all the time. They build the person that they want, and like, but I've done it time and time again too. Like, I understand
not how you do it.
So unhealthy.
The way she's doing it's like, just gonna make someone retreat.
There's a way where you can like grow with each other, but like to try to like, she's trying to change him like too much. These aren't like small fixes. This is like, you're trying to change this man's personality.
And that's the thing though. It's just like, he's just not ready unless someone doesn't mind doting. Like, if he finds someone that is exactly like his mother, he'll be set. So he's either going to go that route or he's going to learn from this and be like, okay, I need to reevaluate everything and fix myself. So in a way, you can say like this is as awful as she was, there is like this little light to it where he might have a little light switch on and be like, oh, I need to get my shit together. But the way she handled it was not the correct way. And I thought it was really funny that her brother, he meets her brother and he's like, yeah, she can be mean, like, and whenever you dish it back to her, she doesn't like it. And that's very true about people like that. When you try and give it back to them, they're like, they can't take it. God, how dare you, you know?
Yeah. It's crazy. That's like the difference. That's the difference between that, because I feel like she's saying that she's like this direct person, but like she can't take it. She can't dish it back. And like, as a person who I feel like I actually am a direct person, I feel like when someone's direct with me, like, I'll take it. I'll be like, fair enough. If I'm going to act like that to you, you should act like that to me. You got to be able to receive. You got to be able to receive it. They also get in another fight at, I think it's at the event where all the other, I say the rejects, but the people that didn't like have a couple, they get to meet the people that they dated or whatever. Nikki D.
He's talks to the girl. Her name's Katie or Kate.
Supposedly was her best friend, Hannah. I didn't even know that. But she was the one that was also, I forgot what team she worked for, but she was also in athletics.
She's in sports.
She was like, she's in football. So they had that connection, and she ended up not continuing on with him because she had dated people. She dates athletes, and she was like, this is just the same person I'm dating. I'm not going to continue with this because this is an experience. I'm not going to do the same thing, right?
She gave him some great advice, though. She was like, you just need to stop leading with like this charisma and like charm and just actually lead with who you really are.
They had a really great conversation. No one was flirting in that conversation.
No. Nick was totally flirting, though.
Well,
I will say that.
He's kind of like right?
He is, but he takes it too far. I'll say that. He does take it too far because he was literally like, you're stunning. Like, I would absolutely, like, basically saying like he would date her if this were a different situation. And I literally wrote down, I was like, not him actually flirting with her though. So like,
I think that though is not him act.
That's like his defense mechanism. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. That's just like how he is, but I don't think
because I think he knows that him and Hannah aren't going to work out. So he's already trying to like set something up for later.
I just think he knows. And like, I think he just knows. And like, they had a good conversation. She was nice. Hannah, obviously at the end of the night, is upset that they talked for so long. And like, he tries to explain like what they were talking about. And she was like, well, that is like a 5-minute conversation you should have had. You talked to her for like 45 minutes. So she's just doubting. I think the next day she talks to her mom. She ends up not going to get the wedding dress. She doesn't go shopping. He doesn't get the suit. He comes over. They break up. It's done.
He meets her friends too. It was once he met her friends.
Oh, there's so many things. Yeah.
The friends said no. The friends did not approve.
There was just so many. I mean, just them alone we could talk about for an hour. Like,
I'm sorry, but we just got to talk about this breakup for a second though.
Yeah.
So first she's like, what do you think what responsibilities do you have? And Nick literally says, I take care of my cat's litter.
Okay, the cat litter, I was like, but for real, that's a job.
I was like, please stop.
He doesn't feed the cat because the dad gets up early in the morning. I screamed. I was like, that's my job. I'm literally the dad in the morning feeding the cat.
Crazy.
Like,
that's crazy for him to call that a responsibility though. I was like, I'm dead.
It is a responsibility. It is.
I think I wrote it down.
That's a task.
She was literally like, she pulls out a notebook, first of all. She was like, these are the 5 things that I wrote down that first time in Cabo, that after we had that fight of all the things that you can't do, basically. And she was like, I can point out specific examples. I don't know if you can, but I can. I remember things. You don't. You see how she just kept, I can do this. You can't. I can do that. You can't. I was just like, girl, insane. And so I just thought it was crazy that she pulled out a notepad with everything she had to say. And
you're unemployed. That's what I would say to her.
She is unemployed. Like, what?
You're unemployed. So I'm glad that you're journaling every day about everything that I do wrong. That's what I would say to her if I was him.
Like, he has so much to work on. And
I'd say, and
I do think it's true.
Me.
Where she was like, I just don't know who you are. I do think he's putting up a facade because he has nothing real to like latch on to, if that makes any sense.
She knew this, though.
And she's projecting because she's also, there's tons that she's insecure about too.
I can't, like, at the end of the day, I literally, even the little times I'm like, oh, I see her point of view, it's just clouded. Like, she's just, in my head, she's just totally in the wrong. Like,
she acts like she's so mature, but she's got so much maturing to do.
Because
just as much as he does.
A mature person would never do that to another person. That's just disrespectful. Because the man is not mean or spiteful or anything.
He's not.
He's no Steven.
No.
He's no Steven. He wasn't talking to the exes.
He's just very gullible.
But, like, you know what I mean? Like, the man, out of the other men, he wasn't too bad of a person. You're kind of roasting the wrong roast. Roasting the wrong pig, girl.
Needless to say, I'm happy that they are broken up. I'm happy that they're not going down the aisle. They don't need to be put through that. And at least she had the smart decision to end that. At least she had the smart decision to not get into a wedding dress.
R.I.P. Hannah Dorka. Never was meant to be.
R.I.P. Now, I think...
Oh my God, Alex
and Tim. Tim/Drake.
First off,
we were so confused by him being called Drake.
Yeah, I was so confused. I missed that whole thing. I was like, they're saying Drake.
I didn't see it either, but I was just like, oh, that's just probably like his middle name or his first name, and he goes by that by his family.
I'm so done with these people having different names. Michael Barnett in our first season, was his name Michael?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, his Matthew. Like Matthew is his actual name.
Matthew. Yeah.
Barnett's is probably his last name or something, right? I don't know.
Yeah, I think it was his last name.
I mean, I can't talk. I used to go by my middle name when I was a kid, so there's that. But yeah, Alex and Tim. Let me just say, I did not like Alex the minute that I heard that she put her hand over Tim's mouth in an argument. That was red flag from day dot. I was out with her. And then, so what's horrible is that he met Alex's family and her dad has MS. And he did such a sweet, sentimental, like, asking for permission to marry her. Read this beautiful letter. And it was so heartfelt. And then to know how it ends.
And it felt so genuine.
Like, it did.
That was the one thing that I was like, they might actually last, because why would this man do this? And put I don't know what it's like to have parents that have MS, but I can relate to a parent having an illness, but not so in I don't know. Like, it makes me sick. It makes me absolutely sick to think that he went through this, even knowing, just even the little bit of doubt. No, if you even have a little bit of doubt, just don't do it. Don't do it. Just don't. Like, she has to live with that now. She has to, even though she did not treat him well. She did not treat him well. I will, like, it just should have ended before that conversation happened. It makes me so sad to think that that is what happened. And then obviously they weren't going to end up together, because, like, literally what?
No, because first of all, her house, she has a hoarder house. And then when she went to meet his family, apparently she like took a nap for an hour, which honestly, I can't blame her for that. I am a nap girly, as you know, and I would probably be so tired because they're filming all day. And I'm sure she was like, I just need a nap. Sure. But it seems like they weren't communicating that whole day anyway. Like, and I think that nap was probably just the final straw for him, because he went from 0 to 100
to break up.
Full stop, break up.
And then he gets up and he's like, I never want to see you again. Something
literally,
like that.
He was like,
I can't wait to never see you again.
I never want to see you again. Literally, that's what he says. I
never want to see you again. He like didn't like her. He like just did not like her.
He said it's a no for me. That's crazy.
I mean, he just shouldn't have. He should have just went with his gut and really stood. He should have just stood his ground after that fight. And
I think it's also because he did so much when he met her family, and it seemed like she did the bare minimum when she met his.
She just was like, she's just not a good partner. Like, she's just not.
No, I'll say it. I think she has maturing up to do too. They didn't really show her enough, but from what I could see, It wasn't giving that.
Just him, the grabbing, like physically, just like closing his mouth or whatever she did.
Yeah.
No, girl. No. You would have me. He would have. Yeah. No.
Out. So Alex and Tim, goodbye. They're done. Can't wait to see them at the reunion. Can't wait to know what that's all about.
It's a no for me.
The final couple, Ramses and Marissa, who I had so much hope for, but now I'm so much confused.
Done. He's done for me. I hate him.
I'm giving him the pretty boy privilege. I don't know if this is a lot of producer editing or not, but the way this is happening is giving hypocritical. Because basically they talk about her being in the military and how she is proud of her service, but obviously she's not happy for like the way things are handled in the military. Do you know what I mean? And she's like, and the conversation comes up where like, if she went back to the military, he would not be with her. He would break up with her. And he talks about this.
Divorce her, he said.
Yeah. Yeah. He talked about this with her friends who have also done military service.
Served.
And it was like a weird conversation, but she ultimately was like, they both were like, we would still, like with their kids, still let her talk about what she's done and like all that jazz and like let them make their own choices if they want to join the military or not. So, and like, it's weird because he, he's from Venezuela or something. I may be making that up. And so he's been in that oppressed life, like oppressed by the military. So I do understand why he would have that point of view, but it is like how it's just a weird topic. You know what I mean?
Like
it seems like
he's so ignorant.
Got out of there. But it's funny that he has such a straight point of view on that, but then you would say is more liberal. But then when it comes to like the simple conversation about birth control and them having kids, she's like, I don't want to put hormones in my body that are gonna fuck me up. So are you cool with that?
Yeah, because
and he's like, yeah.
The kids conversation, because they said like he wants to have kids in 5 years. She's like, I want to have kids in 2 years. How old is she? 35? She's like, I don't want to be trying for kids while I'm 40. Something like that. She doesn't want to be trying kids for 40, which is so reasonable. You're not really supposed to be.
Absolutely.
Like,
it becomes unsafe
kids
at that
before
point.
35. Like, it becomes unsafe past a certain point. Of course, there's a lot of things that you can do. You can adopt. You can do a lot of things.
Yes, absolutely.
It seems like they want to have kids.
It's not as easy
their own kids.
As you get older.
It's not as easy. So he's just like, okay. And then she's like, well, first off, she's like, I'm thinking more like 2. He's like, so that conversation never got resolved. Then they're like talking about what they're going to do about it. So he keeps saying like protect. No, he doesn't even say protected. I don't even know why this pissed me off so much, but they kept saying condom sex, which was just say protected. I was like, what's up with the condom sex?
Condom sex is so weird.
Condom sex, obviously, I've never heard this term, but yeah.
Does that even feel good? He's like, you actually feel good when someone's wearing a condom? It's like, yeah, it's possible, sir. Maybe you haven't had good sex or not.
Yeah.
If you can only have it. So
he's just like, he doesn't want it. He doesn't want it, which that's an opinion, but like there's a give and take, Ramses. Okay. So like if you don't want to have kids, okay. You don't want to wear a condom. Okay. She's like, well, we can just deal with the consequences then. We can do our best. And if it happens, it happens. Which is like what you would do when you're a married couple and you're low-key trying to have kids, but not really. Like you're in you're past 35. Get a grip, homie. You've been single. You've been 35? Living your life. I'm pretty sure she's like, because I think she was saying, I don't want to be trying for kids at 30. Something about 37. She might be 37. I don't know.
Marissa's 32. Ramses is 35. I was like, Marissa's not that old. She's 32.
Okay, that's right, because she said, I don't want to be trying for kids at 37.
Anyway.
So that's valid. She wants to have kids at 34. I think that's very reasonable.
Absolutely.
Like, seriously. So then he's like, can't you just get on the pill? Now that is... men need to know that is a thing.
So much.
So much.
You can become a completely different person when you're on birth control. I know.
Hell, I don't even know who I am. I've been on birth control since I was 18. I have no idea the person that I am. I'm a robot.
The way that I feel now, being off birth control, is so different. Anyway, that's a whole other conversation. But it's so hypocritical for to be like, oh yeah, like so pro-choice or whatever. But then like, oh, you want me to wear a condom?
You need to get on birth control. Like that's crazy. No. And I like how he was like, a lot of times when they have our conversation, we've seen like multiple kind of tiffs. This is the first one that we see really that's major. He, at the end of he'll like reaffirm, be like, so we're good, right? And she's always like, no, we're not resolved. Yeah. I don't know if she said it in this conversation or that other one, but I just think it's funny. She's like, I find it really hard to like watch her talk to him because she smiles through all of it, and it kind of pisses me off. I'm gonna just say it because it's just like, girl, just stop smiling.
Like a natural smiler.
She's just a natural, like, like no, like I'm not gonna get on birth control. Like that's so, honey, say it. I'm not gonna get on birth control. You're crazy. I know that's just like her personality.
We didn't even talk about her mom. Her mom is like that.
Yeah,
her mom is crazy.
Her mom was
the
crazy.
Most cynical person.
She needs a little of her mom in her.
So many divorce, just a little. But my God, that just was a little too direct. Okay, she was like,
she was a little crazy.
Prenup. She said, you cannot marry this man unless you have a prenup. And she was like, I trust no man, basically. She was wearing all black. She was like, this is my daughter's funeral.
No, she was literally that panned to her and I said, not Morticia Addams. She was giving death. She was giving death.
She said, death, getting all married. Black.
Death. Funeral. She was showing up to the funeral. And I thought, but I will say she never like denied him completely. She gave him a hard time, but I think she could turn around.
And he gave it back and she took it.
Yeah.
And I thought that was nice.
And that's a direct queen right there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I guess the way that they kind of end off is that they have another little argument where I guess she's on her period. She's like traveling like 2 hours apparently, like because she's like still in school. The most. She's doing so much and she just doesn't want to have sex. That's a normal thing. That's a normal feeling. And he wanted to, I guess. And so they got into an argument or something about it, and you only see the aftermath the next day.
Of course.
And it's just like, bro, this is literally what you're going to deal with your entire life, no matter who you're with. Unless they have the most crazy libido ever or whatever. But like, there's going to be days where people just don't want to do anything because they're not in the right mental space. They are a bit sick, as she said. But yeah, so I don't know what's about to happen with them. As far as I'm concerned, none of these couples are getting married, except I'm like 80, 70% that Garrett and Taylor will say yes. That's it. That's the only one I have faith in.
Good. It's not looking good for a lot of the couples.
I mean, it literally went from 6 couples to 3 couples in these past episodes.
In my head, to none.
About to be 3-0.
I'll be surprised.
I will be surprised.
Listen, do I think that maybe 2 of them will get married? Do I think anyone's together today? No. No.
I don't know.
I'm hoping one.
If I see Garrett and Taylor together.
See Marissa with Ramses, I'm gonna lose my shit.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Go to Bowden, but she didn't like Bowden.
Bowden's a BFF. That's it.
I know. He's the gay best friend.
Well, I'm so excited to see the finale. Can't wait. And we'll be talking about it next week. But now we got to move on to Dancing with the Stars.
Let's.
Which honestly, I don't know, this episode, like it was
dedication night.
I think they did this whole night just for Hayley and Derek. I'll say it.
Yeah,
it was really for them.
Cry like a baby.
I just want to go ahead and not get them out of the way, but talk about it because, I did not realize how much. So Derek Hough is one of the judges. He was a past professional dancer.
Oh, we know Derek Hough.
Just for those that don't know who are listening, and his wife Hayley was also a dancer on the show. She did So You Think You Can Dance, right?
Yeah, no? She was in So You Think You Can Dance.
Mm-hmm. And so yeah, they're married now, and she got in a really bad. What happened? Oh, she was like literally they were performing. And, like, mid-show, something happened, Well, she was having some sort of medical emergency. They took her to the emergency
she was like
room.
having a seizure.
She had to get part of her skull removed. Yeah. And literally they were like, she's never going to walk again. She's literally never going to be able to dance again.
She's not even going to like be the same person. Like she was going to be kind of like low key, like wheelchair, like kind of out of it. Like they didn't know how long it was going to take.
Yeah, but somehow
it was serious. I remember when it was happening.
By some miracle, I saw it happen, but I didn't realize it was that intense.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But she was able to like recover, like do all the full physical therapy, and she is fully dancing, did everything because she basically, it's her first time back on the Dancing with the Stars stage / set, and she performed with Derek. And I was just like, wow, to know what she went through and to see her dancing like she's dancing right now was insane.
Incredible.
And incredible.
To do Derek Hough's choreography on top of that.
Yeah.
I think he has like some of the toughest choreography. Just like watching it, I'm literally like, I do not know how they're fitting all of this in these counts. Incredible. Derek Hough, no words. His choreography is great. The way they dance together, just really beautiful. I'm glad they told the story for those who didn't like really know what was happening. Like I think people knew that like something happened, but I think it's good that they actually like showed everything. Like it's emotional.
Mm-hmm.
It's emotional. It makes you think. I know we didn't talk about this earlier, and I kind of want to talk about it, but I guess I can kind of layer it now. Liam Payne.
Oh my god, I did want to talk about that earlier.
I just want to
understand.
It's hard. I know it's really hard because it's just.
I'm a One Direction.
Yeah.
From the X Factor. I was watching them when they were on the X Factor.
Okay. You're one of the OGs.
I was an OG. I didn't think I was going to get emo. But it's so great. What I find to be crazy is that I don't use Snapchat. It's on there. But for some reason, this past 2 weeks, I was getting notifications that Liam Payne posted a new story. And I would be like, why am I getting notifications about Liam Payne? I don't look at his content like that, especially not on Snapchat. So I started looking at his Snapchat stories of him in Argentina. Like literally this past 2 weeks, I was watching them.
Wow.
Which is so crazy to me.
So weird. Yeah.
And like he literally just saw Niall last week.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I just, when I heard the news, I was shocked. I was so shocked.
I mean, I was shocked too. I was literally teaching a class. Someone in my class literally was like, this is happening. And I literally wasn't, it's so jarring every time you hear something like that, especially celebrity, like that we all know.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
just in general, it's
just so sad because at one point, One Direction was probably going to get back together and do something together. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like the Jonas Brothers. They broke up, but then they found each other again. They were on the way to that place again.
Absolutely. And then to know that like now the reason that if they perhaps do this, it's like the reason they're going to get together is to have to,
have like a funeral. Yeah.
Yeah. Go to it's just, that's not what it was supposed to be. And it's so sad. And it's just, life is so short and you never know what's going to happen. And it's just so crazy because like he was posting on his story like a normal person and then that happens and you're like, and like there are like things coming out, articles saying that like, oh, he was acting erratic and things like that, like leading up to this. But I don't know.
Things, yeah.
I have no idea what the real story is.
It's hard because like a lot of people suffer from things and we know that they're working with it. So it's hard. Like you feel like, oh, I didn't check in with that person. Someone should have been checking in with them. But it's like,
there's so much that people can cover up
so
easily.
Much. Yes. It's just really easy for people to cover things up and you don't realize how bad it is. And obviously it's reported that he fell off
over the balcony.
Right?
Yeah.
So that means he was obviously probably not sober.
Because he was with his girlfriend. Like,
yeah. Oh gosh.
So I can only imagine what she's going through.
Yeah. All of this to say life is very short and we're glad that Hayley's okay. And that dance, it brought up a lot of things. Like, I think it's just been, just one of those things. Moving on. Let's talk about the couples.
Whew,
dedication night.
So,
Everyone had someone to dedicate.
Starts with Disney Channel star Chandler. Disney, that's a hard to say. Disney Channel
star,
girl. Disney Channel star Chandler.
There it is.
And
Whatever.
I think the judges are being so freaking hard on her. To know that she did that dance and she just got 8s and then other people were getting 9s after her. And it always sucks when you're first. They always do like the base score for the first dance, and then it somehow just gets better for everyone else after that.
So
like, I understand them wanting her to have more grit. I totally get it. But she's still not on a different level. Do you know what I mean?
She's on a different level, and it's hard because she's going to stay. So I'm not like worried because she like is one of the most talented dancers. She like literally is the only dancer.
But when they are talented, if they don't know, I don't know who her fan base is, I guess, because I'm just like, who's voting for her? I'm voting for her because I know it and I like dance. But there's people that don't care about dance and just vote simply by being a fan of the person.
I mean, I think even non-dancers, non-performers can see. It's a clear evident like she is actually dancing.
But they'll be like, oh, she's a dancer. I don't need to vote for her. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, she's going to be fine. Like, your mindset. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I do agree.
I agree with the judges I do agree with the judges. Like, I just wish she had a little bit of like,
she needs
like
that little
Phaedra. Like Phaedra. Phaedra doesn't give a fuck. Like, she just, like, she can't even dance. And she just, like, she has that, like, about her where it's just like, like, it is what it is. Chandler needs that little risk. I understand what they're saying, but to give an 8 is kind of crazy. So I agree both ways.
Steven was like, fine. I don't even remember what he did. Argentine Tango, maybe? I thought it was fine.
I thought it was his best dance. It was his best dance.
Was it? Maybe it was.
Yeah, it was better than before. It was better than before.
Yeah.
Slightly.
I think Danny, everyone's like really happy with his dance. It was like contemporary, but like contemporary is always going to be good. I just don't care for this man. I literally wrote down, I just don't care for him.
I love him. Love him. Love him.
But it was a very pretty dance, and Whitney knows what she's doing. So there you have it.
He's surprising
and he got a 9, right?
Yes.
I mean, he's better than, because I was like,
he's better than a lot of them.
All right, let's not get crazy. I mean,
he is. He is.
But he's not better than Joey.
No, Joey's the best.
Period.
Obviously.
Yeah, like I would say he's better than Steven.
Yeah.
Maybe.
And Dwight.
It depends on the dance. Yeah, Dwight's not good. Let's be real.
No, he's better than Steven. He's better than Steven. Come on now.
Yeah. Anyway, so then we have Brooks. And I wrote down, Gleb is just not a good choreographer. Gleb is not a good choreographer. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Her sisters were in the dance. It was really random. And it was just like the same dance as last week. I was just like, yeah.
And obviously we see her go home. And
I was not surprised that she was voted off.
I'm not surprised, but I am a little surprised that happened this episode. I was thinking, if anything, it would happen next. It just jarred me a little bit because I'm just like, she actually is a pretty good dancer. Like, she takes direction well. It's just like,
she is, but she needs more. I'll say it, she needs more meat on those bones if she's going to be doing something like this. To be athletic, you just need to have a little bit more ground and like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, she doesn't have it. She's just a bit like.
But that is something that like a lot of this could have been like improved
if she had a different partner.
Better
she probably could have.
Gleb.
Yeah, and I think
Alan,
Val,
Pasha,
maybe Alan, but like I think
Pasha
the whole
would have whipped her into shape.
Social media presence that she had with Gleb backfired on her. It didn't help her. It actually hindered her because people weren't a fan of it. It's like they needed to do this like slow chemistry thing, and instead they just put it in your face, and people are like,
too much.
I don't like this. It's too much. And so people voted her off.
Yeah, the first episode it was suspected. Second episode they were dating. I was like, okay, period. Whereas Riley and Harry was always like, is it happening?
Ooh.
Is it not?
Will they or won't they?
they were interesting the whole time because the TikToks were just subtle tension. But this is like they're literally kissing. They're licking each other's faces. No one gives a fuck. It's weird.
No,
Stop
it's disgusting.
I was rooting for her in her dance career, but I am happy that she is gone personality-wise. That's how I think of it. Dance-wise, she could have done it. But it's so hard to get back.
She had potential.
I mean,
I think Gleb needs to take a break. I'll say it. He doesn't need to be a pro. You know who I want them to put on here? I want them to bring Coco back, and I want them to put her husband on here. Oh my God, Kiki with her husband.
Kiki Coco.
Kiki and Coco. Kiki is so fine.
I know.
First of all,
he is good. He's a phenomenal dancer. So you think he can dance legend? They're
literally,
legends.
That season, I was like,
they're legends.
I was watching that. Why
do you think I was starstruck today at Moment? I'm literally like, these are legends.
Oh, I bet. Absolutely.
I'm dancing with the legends. I'm obsessed with these people. Like, please.
Crazy. Anyway, so Joey, I will say this was not a very memorable dance for me. I think Viennese waltz kind of looks the same as like the foxtrot or something like that. And so I'm just like, another one. Okay. It didn't really do it for me, but I was like, he's a great dancer. He's a great dancer.
He's clean. He's clean.
He's clean.
He delivers and he's clean and he takes direction well. Jenna's a great teacher. She's a great choreographer. Said it time and time again. Yeah. And it shows.
I'll say this is probably the most underwhelming choreographed piece that she's done so far, though. Sorry, not sorry.
She really, I mean, when they do contemporary,
can't wait.
She is the best choreographer for contemporary on So You Think You Can Dance. Period. I'll die on this hill.
So You Think You Can Dance or Dancing with the Stars?
Sorry, Dancing with the Stars. You've said So You Think You Can Dance so many times.
Yeah.
But, sorry, on Dancing with the Stars. That's what I meant.
Yeah. Oh my God. And then there was Alona. Alona did the rumba, right? And after last week, which she just really did not do well, they showed her package and she was like sobbing going backstage. It's like she came back and she wanted to be, redeem herself, and I really think she did. She was like,
she did the best that she could. The rumba's really hard for a comeback dance.
It is, but I thought she was like soft but still strong and like beautiful but powerful. That's what I wrote down.
Yeah, it's interesting because we've never had a rugby player. And how that translates to dance, because sometimes we see the parallel with basketball and football, but it's interesting to see the rugby. There's still, I think she's doing incredible. And also, I don't even care because she's so raw and she's so lovable that
she is. You just can't help but root for her.
Like, okay, so if you were just to look at the dances, Brooks is improving and she did a better job, but she is so unlovable and so like, that
you
like
have there's nothing about her that makes you
exactly. And like, I look at Alona and I'm literally like, did she really make a huge comeback? Probably not. But like, did she work really hard? And is she just so lovable? And just watching her do something like that, and it's out of her comfort zone. It's just, we're rooting for her. She's America's princess. I love her.
She's showing her vulnerability, and that's how you get people in.
I'm just like, literally, she's so raw. She's so real. Her sobbing back, I'm literally like, how many times have I just sobbed when I like made the stupidest mistake? Just like, she's so real for that. She doesn't give a fuck. She's just like, I am who I am. I'm gonna sob over Dancing with the Stars, even though I'm a literal Olympian. Like, I literally have a medal.
Yeah, it was great. And then we end.
Oh, and did you see one of her team members was sobbing? Like, she was unwell. It was so sweet. I was literally like, yeah.
That's nice. Anyways, it ends with Jen, and let's just say she dedicated her number to Taylor Swift.
Stupid.
Because I guess they're not going to be doing a Taylor Swift night. So they said, we'll just sprinkle in some Taylor here instead. And as you know, we're not Taylor's stands.
What are we doing? I'm so sorry. Taylor Swift is not doing anything for music. She's speaking, and that's about it. She's just saying things.
She's saying she's just a, what do you call that when people do their poetry live?
That's it. Spoken word or whatever.
She's doing spoken word. There we go.
Spoken word.
Anyway, What I did, this is unrelated to her, but I was so happy that Mark was a judge because he gave such good feedback to everyone. Like, I don't remember what note he gave Jen, but it was like, yes, that is exactly what she needs to be doing, because she's still like wobbly and like she lost her timing or whatever. But like, I don't know what he said, but I was just like, maybe that was for somebody, but like every like critique that he gave, it was like constructive feedback that was necessary. And I'm like, that's what the judges should be like, not like fucking Jean voting for people because they're hot.
Or Carrie Ann.
Well, Carrie Ann sometimes has good things to say and sometimes off the wall things to say. So
she like never has anything to say like dance wise. It's always just like, we need to feel you more. Well, could you explain? At least Derek is like, your frame is like this. If you do this, it's going to get better. Nice work. Like
well, that's because they're teachers. They're used to being with the celebrity, and Carrie Ann's just for vibes.
I respect Derek the most on that panel.
Yeah,
just saying.
Yeah.
He knows it the best.
Needless to say, I don't remember what Jen's dance was, but I didn't care for it. Although I know there was a lift, and I was like, Carrie Ann's going to call that out, and she was like, I might have to dock you for that next time. I was like, oh, okay, she's not docking it.
She's being nice.
She was. Oh, and this is a random moment, but Julianne Hough was always doing something. She was like interviewing Jen in the box, the skybox, and like she like put the mic over to Jen, but then Jen like grabs it with both hands and wouldn't go.
That.
And like, I was weird. Like, Julianne, just let go of the mic. Like, she already has two hands on it. It was so awkward. And I was dying.
Julianne really needs to get off the screen. I'm so sorry. Julianne.
This is not her shtick.
Julianne Hough. It's just you were a great judge. You're a great dancer. You're a great choreographer. You're really great at so many things, but you are not a good host. I'm so sorry.
No. And we can talk about this at another time, maybe like when there's a downtime, but I would love to talk about all the tea of all the Dancing with the Stars people dating each other. That's a spiral that we went down one night. Mm-hmm. So put a pin in that.
I'm so connected in this because, like I said, I was so obsessed with So You Think You Can Dance growing up, and like a lot of them are now in Dancing with the Stars. So like I've been in this tea for so long. There's things I'm like just appearing now. You see on TikTok. If you go on TikTok, you'll see all of it. You'll see all the tea.
You'll see all of it. It's
but
great.
Bye, Brooks. We really don't care that you're gone, actually.
Bye.
And next week is Disney.
Oh my God, is it? Yay.
Yeah, I think so.
Love.
So Disney night. And I think the week after that is Halloween.
I hope Joey does what's that movie with Bruno? Is it Bruno? Or Silencio Bruno? He looks like that kid. Have you seen that movie?
No.
Oh, look it up after and you'd be like, oh my God, that's Joey.
I'm not a Disney adult. I don't know anything.
Okay. Anyway, let's move on to Golden Bachelor. Golden Bachelorette. I don't even know what to say about this. Enough with the Mickey. We're on to the Golden Bachelorette.
What do we
they kind of just basically spoiled that Mark was going to go home in the cold opening. I don't know if you saw it.
They did.
Literally, Joan was like, hey, Mark, can I steal you for a second? That's how you know it's over. When they're pulling you away from the conversation, it's done. Can I
just say I knew it with Mark?
I mean, he was almost to hometowns. He was almost there.
He was almost. I said it. I anticipated him leaving the week before hometowns.
But I'm very surprised who ended up in the final four.
And I am too. So the episode starts. I'm still shook that Chalk came back in the same week. I'm still not over that.
That episode starts with that cold open, but I want to talk about Pascal being in his underwear, steaming his clothes.
Pascal's learning so much in the mansion. He's learning how to do laundry. He's learning how to cook. He's learning how to steam. He's doing it all.
I thought that was so funny.
He can fire the maid. He's got it. He's got it all in lock. Like he's
on his way.
Do they have who's the first date? Is it Keith? Keith has his redemption.
It's Keith, but before that even happens, freaking Trista shows up. She has been coming on to every freaking season. I'm like,
she's trying to get her coin. I don't know why she's trying to get her coin.
I'm like, are we done with you? She's like, okay, fine. You're the successful couple from the season 1. I don't care. You're old news.
She wrote off Bachelor Nation for years. And
really?
all of a sudden, oh.
Maybe she didn't like Chris Harrison. Maybe now that he's gone.
I just think she thinks the show has gotten popular, so she's trying to get her coin.
I mean, that too. You know, I'm saying I'm done with her, but you know, Trista, if you ever want to hop on the pod.
Oh my God. No, we can't. I just trash talked her.
I know.
I read her for filth. I read her for filth. She should not be on this podcast. But
wouldn't that be something?
That'd be crazy. That'd be crazy.
Anyway, I was just like, okay, they can talk to each other, I guess. She's talking with Joan. And she says from when she's talking to Trista that she doesn't want to give out any roses until the end of the week, which I think is a good idea. Mm-hmm. You know, it gives you more time to actually get to fill out the guys. Mm-hmm. So yeah, Keith gets a one-on-one. He wants to redeem himself from like the last time he spoke to her at the cocktail party because he really got frazzled and didn't know how to speak to her and was choked up or whatever. But literally on their date, she talks about her husband again. And I'm just like, she's not over her husband. You know what I mean? She keeps bringing him up. And I'm just like, oh, Joan does not like Keith. But then Keith actually brings up, I didn't realize that his ex-wife had an addiction problem. And that's kind of like why they separated. And he took the kids out of that situation, which is good for him and good for them.
Yeah.
But yeah, their date ends, and even the way that she kissed him, I was like, yeah, she doesn't like Keith. She doesn't like him like that. And then as that's happening,
she just wasn't attracted. No. I'm just reiterating. She was just. I think she connected with him, but like I think couldn't physically get there with him. I think that's what it was, at least from my perspective.
For sure, that's what it seemed like. And as that date is happening, they kind of cut to Mark. And he has this moment with a hummingbird, and he kind of uses the hummingbird as like a symbolization of his wife, which I thought was really sweet. And I was just like, oh. And he was like, I don't know if I'm doing the right thing. Yeah.
With the birds. The dads love the birds and thinking that's like my family, like I think it's known to be like a cardinal is like supposed to be the bird that I don't know, but my family does that all the time. Like they see a cardinal in the back. My aunt's like, oh my gosh, I see a cardinal. It's either my mom or like her father, my grandfather. Like literally, they'll say that all the time. I'm literally like, y'all,
there's always just something for everybody.
It's just a bird. I'm like, everyone, calm down. The bird is always there. The bird's been there. The bird was there when they were alive. Let's be honest. So who was it before? You know. But hey, let them have their moment. They love the birds. The hummingbird felt like he got the okay that you're doing the right thing from his wife that has passed, which was nice. And he did share that on the date as well, which we'll get to. But yeah.
Yeah, but before that, they go on a group date. It's bowling. Basically, Pascal was like, ew, this bowling outfit. Disgusting. And then Chalk was just stealing all the time away from everybody, and everyone else was like, right. Can you like back off her? Like, I want to talk to her too. And that was basically the gist of the date. Am I right? Yeah. Guy was just like, hello. And then Jonathan tried to like show pictures of his family to her and stuff like that, but I can't believe her decision.
I think that date is that's the last group date. So the last group date is always a really hard, like, because
you can tell who they're actually into by then, and you're just sort of like, just like chopped liver. Like, what am I, chopped liver?
And it was interesting because I was like, surely she's not going to send Jonathan home. But when they were talking about, he was like showing her the pictures, I was like, she's not into him anymore. I like could see it. I was just like, oh my gosh, what happened?
The minute they had that conversation about how their mornings were going to go.
You're right. You called that out. And I genuinely thought he was going to make it though. Cause
me too.
Crazy. But
then Mark has his date, and I don't really remember much from it except that like they went on a boat, and then he tells her story about how he saw the hummingbird and how that was confirmation that he's doing the right thing. And I'm sure that made Joan a bit like, oh, I feel bad right now because I don't like this man like that. And she says she's like, something's missing to the camera.
They made the edit like very like the silence, like the edit was already showing that they were not going to be together, like them just like looking at the view in silence. I'm like, that's not weird. They don't have to be talking every second. But like, it was just setting us up that we knew they weren't going to be together.
Yeah. Before the rose ceremony, like, quote unquote cocktail party, she pulls Mark aside and basically says, like, yeah, something's missing, and like, I just don't think I can continue on with the journey with you. And he's like, you know what? Okay. And he's like, I've had a wonderful time. I've learned so much, and off I go. And I wouldn't be surprised if he becomes the Golden Bachelor. I think it's between him and Jonathan.
I would hope it's Jonathan, just because I feel like in relation, we've had a lot of like Joey, Kelsey, like
yeah, I'm sure they want a break.
Love them, but I'm just like, if we choose Mark, it's just like we're just choosing, and it's like I still think the franchise needs more diversity in general. It's like, you have great people, Jonathan, like, let's go, like, this could be a thing.
I think the people would be pouring in for Jonathan.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm team Jonathan all the way.
I mean, I love Mark. I'm not saying that. I
love him too.
I'm just like, we love him, but I'm just like, I think it's nice that they had him on the season as he went as far, and we got the story, and I think he's going to be able, and he's probably dating people right now. Like, the man is, look at him. He's fine. He's going to find
Which one? Both of them. But really, the other thing is they're going to be like, oh, we have Grant as our bachelor, so we can't have another black person also be the Golden Bachelor.
Oh my God, I forgot Grant. Yeah, that's probably, they're delusional. They're delusional in that sense. They're like, okay, check, we did Jen, Asian. Okay, Grant, he's black. Okay, great. Okay, good. We can actually, like,
we can go back to our white man now.
We can go back to the actual, like, no, that's crazy. Because it's so checking of the box. It's like, at least for me, I feel like it's very checking of the box. Yeah, I still think absolutely. It is. I'm going to accept it because it's like, at least they're doing it. So it's like, I don't want to like hate on them, but it's just like, could we just do it in an authentic way? Like, sometimes it is going to be 3 black people in a row because that's how it is.
Force their hand to do Jen, you know?
Yeah. I was like, maybe it is that. Like, why does it have to be, it's a white person, now it's a black person, it's a white person, now it's like, could it just be the person that's right for it?
Exactly.
It could be 4 black people in a row. Who cares? Like, y'all are making it so calculated with the flip and the flip. That's the problem. They're the problem with that. Okay, sorry.
So Jonathan for Golden Bachelor. Yeah. But basically, so her final 4 end up being Pascal, Chuck, Guy, and Jordan.
Jordan is crazy.
Nah, Jordan's not crazy. Something about that man.
No, I know you love him, but I'm talking about the connection with Joan.
I see it.
She basically said, she
wants a basic white man.
That's what I'm saying. I'm literally like, no way.
Pascal's the only one that's got some sort of flair.
Pascal and Chalk, I'm not surprised. Guy, remember I said Guy.
That was the most shocking one.
That was a stab in the dark from me, but I'm happy that I chose him. I don't know if I actually chose him, but I just said I wouldn't be totally surprised. So I wasn't totally surprised because I had already kind of put it up in the universe.
You did that. This is your fault.
That was me. That was all me. Jordan had me floored. I so thought Jonathan was going to make it to hometowns and he was going to be the next one that was going to go after. Like, I was thinking he'll make hometowns and then he won't go to fantasy. Oh my gosh. I'm so upset. But like, she wants a white man.
Guy?
It's fine.
Guy's a doctor, so she's trying to marry rich too. You know?
Pascal's rich.
What does Jonathan do? I don't even know.
It's just so painfully obvious that it's Chalk. Can we just like skip to the end?
Honestly. Yeah. Final 2.
Who do you think is going to be voted off next?
Okay, fine. Let's do that instead. I think it's either going to be Guy or Jordan.
I say Jordan. Top 3.
I don't know. Both of them are so flip-floppy for me. All I can say is top 2. I think top 2 are Pascal and Chalk.
You know what? I just thought about it. We haven't had it. Well, I guess Chalk was our self-elimination, but then he came back. We haven't had any self-eliminations.
No, I guess not. Did they do that in Golden Bachelor?
Joan.
Oh, it was Joan. Yeah.
Yeah. But there's no way they would be self-elimination. I'd be so shocked at this point if a guy was like, I gotta go.
No, I doubt it.
If anything, if it's a medical thing, then like I would get that. Like for someone like Chalks and Jones were very both reasonable. But we've never seen a true self-elimination where I'm like, the connection is not there, I'm leaving.
Yeah.
I would be so floored if that happened.
No, it's fine.
They're all in love with her.
Yeah, except we'll see what happens.
Jordan doesn't
Jordan's
even
here
like her.
for a good time. I love me some Jordan. Okay.
That's crazy.
I don't know what it is.
So, anyways, hometowns next week.
So yeah, there you have it.
Hometowns next week. We will be discussing, of course, the final episode of Love is Blind, Disney Night, Dancing with the Stars, and of course, obviously, hometowns. And yeah, that's all we have. Any final thoughts?
That's all we have. I don't know. That's pretty much it, y'all. If you have anything you want us to know, leave a comment below.
We love the tea.
Leave a little disco ball emoji if you made it this far.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Add it on.
Share this with your friends. Like, comment, and subscribe. And we'll be back with you next week.
We'll see you then.
Okay. Bye.